You want to know what the future of this country could look like if people don't start pushing back against these COVID restrictions? It's going to look just like the NFL. Now, I'm not talking about the glitz and the glamour, the multi billion dollar business. I'm talking about the bureaucracy, the control, the removal of your civil rights when it comes to your personal health care. The NFL has more power over its players than any other league. It's the most physical sport. It's the game with the highest risk of injury, while it's also the league with the least amount of player power and protection. One thing players have always been able to control in the NFL: their own health, their health care. Roger Goodell has removed that right. All in the name of player safety, of course. We are looking out for the well being of our players. The NFL's COVID policy, the most stringent in sports, has more to do with politics and virtue signaling than it does with keeping players safe. Cole Beasley has been the leader of this movement against the NFL's COVID protocols. Cole Beasley is not anti-vaccine, neither am I. While the vaccine doesn't keep you from getting the COVID, it does ease the severity of the virus. Cole Beasley's not anti-vaccine. He's anti being forced to get the vaccine. You know, it's strange. The wokers are all about pro choice when it comes to abortion. If a woman wants to abort her pregnancy, they're all about their freedom to choose. It's her body. A woman should be able to make her own decisions regarding her health. But when it comes to the COVID, the pro choice mentality goes right out the window. They no longer want you to have the right to decide on your own. We'll make the decision for you. We know best. The problem with the vaccine is not the science behind it. The problem with the vaccine is the politicians have ruined it. It's become political. Anything that becomes political is instantly destroyed. People do not trust the leaders that are pushing this vaccine. Does anyone in this country trust Anthony Fauci? I would entrust my health care with Cole Beasley before I would with Anthony Fauci. The woke media has been attacking Cole Beasley for months now because of his stance on the vaccine and the NFL's COVID protocols. He gave a press conference last month. He explained why he is so vocal regarding this issue. Check out the clip.
I wanted to start this off by saying I'm not anti or pro-vax. I'm pro-choice. With that being said, the issue at hand is information is being withheld from players in order for a player to be swayed in a direction he may not be comfortable with. When dealing with a player's health and safety, there should be complete transparency regarding information that is vital in the decision-making process. Without having all the proper information, a player can feel misguided and unsure about a very personal choice. It makes a player feel unprotected and gives concerns about future topics regarding health and our ability to make educated decisions. With regard to our overall safety, we have to know we are armed with full knowledge and understanding that those who are in a position to help us will always do that based on our individual situation. Some people may think that I'm being selfish in making this a me thing. It is all about the young players who don't have a voice and are reaching out to me every day because they're being told if they don't get vaxxed, they'll be cut. Agents are being told by teams if they have unvaccinated guys, they will not be given opportunities as of now to be seen in workouts. So once unvaxxed players get cut, they're losing a dream they have worked their whole lives for over a vaccine that is proven to not keep people from contracting COVID, as we've seen.
Now, the media is calling him selfish. He's been accused of doing this for attention, but Cole Beasley is the opposite of selfish here. Like he said in the clip, he is doing this for younger players. Cole Beasley's not doing this for himself. He is a veteran in the NFL. He's already made his money. Cole Beasley and his family, they are set for life financially. It would be easy at this point in his career to bow his head, keep his mouth shut, and comply with Roger Goodell. All we keep hearing about is compliance. It's easy to comply. What Cole Beasley's doing is difficult. He is opening himself up to criticism. He's risking his NFL career over this issue because he feels it's important to give a voice to younger players. Your major players in the NFL, they're not as affected by the NFL COVID protocols. You think teams getting down to their 53-man roster, you think they're going to cut a guy like Michael Thomas for being unvaccinated? You think they're going to cut a guy like Tyreek Hill if he's unvaccinated? No, they'll work around guys like that. But just like Cole Beasley alluded to, the guys on the edge of making the roster, if they're not vaccinated, they are done. Dream over. All because they exercise their right to maintain control over their own health care. Let me show you how much the NFL's COVID protocols make zero sense. Cole Beasley and a handful of other players in Buffalo, they were sent home from training camp on Monday for 5 days because they were in close contact with a trainer who caught the COVID. NFL rules state if an unvaccinated player is in close contact with someone who tests positive for the coronavirus, they must be removed from the team for 5 days. Now, if you're vaccinated, you don't have to be removed at all. Here's the thing though, the trainer who tested positive, he had been vaccinated. If Cole Beasley, like I said, had also been vaccinated, he would be able to remain with the team. But because he's unvaccinated, he was deemed too dangerous to be around other players. So let me get this straight. Trainer, vaccinated, supposedly safe, but he gets the COVID anyway. Cole Beasley, unvaccinated, but test negative for the COVID after this close contact with the trainer. He's 100% healthy, able to play, but he must be away from the team for 5 days. Tell me how that makes sense. That's my issue with the NFL protocols. This has nothing to do with the vaccine. This has everything to do with a knee-jerk overreaction to a virus and the NFL going above and beyond to virtue signal. These damn COVID protocols, they could have a huge negative impact on certain teams and players once we get into the regular season. Hell, we're not even out of the preseason yet, and the protocols have already wrecked the Vikings quarterback room. It's had an impact on Cam Newton and the Patriots. Cam Newton and Mac Jones, they are vying for the starting quarterback role in New England. Well, they were. Right now, only Mac Jones is because Cam Newton, he's not allowed to practice. Why? Cam Newton fell out of the NFL's COVID protocols. Now, how did he do that? How did he violate protocol? No one seems to know. Check out this press release from the Patriots. Quote, he received daily COVID tests, which were all negative. Due to a misunderstanding about tests conducted away from NFL facilities and as required by the NFL and NFLPA protocols, Cam will be subject to the 5-day entry cadence process before returning to the facility, end quote. So, Cam Newton did nothing wrong. But because of some vague policy, he's forced to miss the most critical week of the preseason and possibly hand the starting quarterback position right over to Mac Jones. The NFL's COVID policy is designed to pit vaccinated players against unvaccinated players. Sure, you have a choice to get the vaccine, but if you don't, the league's going to make your life a living hell. You know how many NFL players have died from the coronavirus? 0. How many have even been seriously ill from the coronavirus? How many? I really don't know. I'm damn sure, though, if an NFL player were to be seriously ill, we would be hearing about it, but we haven't. Right around the first week of training camp, the NFL released its testing data when it came to the COVID. 65 players and staff members, they tested positive. 49% of them were fully vaccinated. The Falcons, who are 100% vaccinated, have already been hit with a COVID outbreak. Last year, it wasn't until the 3rd week of training camp that one team had an outbreak. This year, happened the 1st week. They are acting like being unvaccinated is going to cause some kind of epidemic in the NFL, but the truth is, the league was actually doing better last year with less stringent protocols than they're doing now with strict policies. Unvaccinated players and reporters are required to wear masks on Zoom calls. Yes. Even though no one else is in the room, no one else, they could be thousands of miles away, still got to wear a mask. Now, please tell me, how the hell does that make sense? It is all for appearances. It's also the NFL can say to the woke media, we are taking the COVID seriously. I don't understand why the league is not treating this like they would treat any other health crisis or health issue. NFL players, to be honest, they should be more worried about getting a concussion than getting the COVID. The reality of the situation is, vaccine or not, you can still get the coronavirus. So instead of overreacting and trying to keep the COVID from coming into NFL facilities, which is impossible, the NFL would be better served learning to live with this thing. It's just the reality. The COVID is not going anywhere. These protocols, like I said a second ago, they could have dire consequences, especially in the regular season. Imagine an unvaccinated player gets the COVID. His team is forced to forfeit a game while they are fighting for the final playoff spot. Imagine the reaction. Fans and the media are going to crucify that player. His career could possibly be over. When the reality is, they should be blaming the NFL and Roger Goodell for overreacting and overreaching with their power. It's already happening with Cole Beasley. When news broke that he was removed from the Bills for 5 days, the first sentence in an article on Deadline, actions have consequences. Then they proceed to blame Cole Beasley when they should be blasting the NFL's ridiculous policies. Deadline says Cole Beasley's stance just isn't good enough anymore. The Delta variant is endangering the lives in this country. The damn vaccine's not even effective against the Delta variant. So, what is your point here? I don't understand what the point is. All right, I could go on about this all day long. I'm tired of the overreaction to the damn coronavirus, but let me know your thoughts on the media attacking Cole Beasley. Do you agree with his stance on the NFL essentially trying to force players to get vaccinated? What are your thoughts on this? Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.